Phil? Phil? Hey, Phil Connors.
Ned?
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and today I have another crazy standard deck tech straight out of Aether Drift Early Access, and this one's pretty spicy. You've probably seen the cycling, self-discarding decks making the rounds. Usually there is it, and they're very aggressive, but I realized we should probably go a different route. This deck is called Break the Cycle, and what I noticed while trying to build the aggro version of that deck is that the best payoffs are things that require you to pretty much take a turn out to get into play. So I thought to myself, what if instead of trying to be aggressive, we were playing a control shell and we were just nuking everything the opponent played, stabilizing the board and buying us time to then eventually get out our win conditions and our value payoffs for discarding when we have breathing room, and then just snowballing those value engines into insanity with all of our crazy discard synergies. And honestly, the deck worked way better than I expected. It's kind of nuts. We're able to go with black in this deck as well for Cryptcaller Chariot, which is an insane win condition, an insane payoff for discarding. As long as you can buy time to stay alive, it just spits out 2/2s left and right for the entire game, and it's bananas. But also Monument to Endurance, which was the reason we tried to build this deck to begin with, is nuts in this version of the deck because we don't have to worry about trying to take a turn off to play it as soon as possible. We just buy ourselves that breathing room, and then we slip those things out when we're comfortable doing so, and then we ride them to victory, and it gets absolutely insane. So before we break down the deck and then get to the gameplay, please like the video. It helps me get it out to so many more people. Subscribe if you're new because I have a bunch of crazy deck techs on the way, and catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/QuarantineCapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. In fact, on Tuesday, the game is launching. The set is launching on Arena, and we're going to have a 12-hour marathon stream, launch stream for the set. I'll be doing sealed, I'll be doing draft, and I'll be spending the last half of the stream doing standard brews, all the crazy standard brew ideas that I have that I wasn't able to get to in early access, and some new ones that I came up with after testing a bunch of stuff during early access. So there's a lot of craziness on the way. I can't wait to get it out to you, but for now, let's check out this deck. Alright, so this deck is pretty rad. This one is called Break the Cycle, and I tried to do a discard deck, but I tried to take it in a completely different direction. Instead of doing the aggressive, just try and build counters on your guy and, you know, knock out your opponent as quick as you can, we went with control, and surprisingly this deck was kind of insane. So our two main payoffs are Monument to Endurance, a 3-mana artifact. Whenever you discard a card, you choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You either draw a card, create a treasure, or each opponent loses 3 life. So if you can discard 3 cards in the same turn, you can get all of those. And then if you can discard 3 cards in your opponent's turn, you can get all of those again. Insane payoff, especially if you're in control. The entire deck is focused on keeping the board clear, killing everything, and controlling everything so that you can get these win conditions online and just start to overwhelm with value. And the other win condition we're doing that with is Cryptcaller Chariot. This is a 5/5 menace vehicle, but we don't really care about swinging with it most of the time. It's a 4-mana artifact, cruise for 2. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, you create that many tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. So you get this thing down. It's not a creature itself unless you crew it, so it will survive all of your sweepers, it won't die, and then after you wipe the board with your sweepers, it just starts spitting out 2/2 tokens left and right every single time you discard a card. And there's so many ways to discard cards in this deck, it gets utterly absurd. We're going to start at the bottom of the curve. We've got 4 artist talents. Now, this is kind of the backbone of the deck. 2-mana enchantment class. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So every single time you cast a spell, you rummage when this is out. You get to trigger that Cryptcaller Chariot and Monument to Endurance so much it gets absurd. You can also level it up to level 2 for 3 mana, and all your non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less. So you start to just vomit out even more spells every turn to get even more triggers. And then if you do level it up to level 3, if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 2 instead. So it does level up some of our damage-based sweepers, which is really nice. I apologize if I'm stumbling over my words, but I've been streaming for 25 hours and I am tired. We've also got 4 copies of Highway Robbery. Not only for 2 mana can we discard a card, draw 2 cards, and possibly trigger the Artist Talent to discard another card, draw another card, but we have the ability to plot this, and I think that makes it super good in conjunction with Monument to Endurance, because we can plot it on turn 2, then on turn 3 play the Monument to Endurance, and then for free play the plotted Highway Robbery, so that we get value off the Monument to Endurance the very first turn it's on the battlefield. And I think it's really important to find ways to do that to make this card as good as it can be. We're also running 4 copies of Skycrash. There are artifacts everywhere in this format. This can just incidentally kill them for 2 mana at instant speed, or maybe 1 mana if you've leveled up the Artist Talent. But it's also something that we can just cycle away for 1 mana, draw a card, and it counts as a discard and triggers all of our discard outlets, which is just nutty. We're going to also run 1 copy of Collector's Vault. I'm only running 1 because if we have that first one, we're not really ever going to have enough mana to use 2 of these in the same turn. But if we do get it, it is a nice discard outlet that also ramps us some treasure and helps us be able to cast some of the stuff we want to cast a little bit earlier, which is super nice. We're also running 1 Jace Reawakened, which I think is a really spicy addition to this deck. A 3 loyalty planeswalker for 2 mana, can only cast it on your 4th turn or later. But you can uptick to draw a card and discard a card to trigger those synergies. You can also +1 to plot a card that costs 3 or less from your hand. So it's a really good way to set up a Monument to Endurance to be able to drop it on a turn for free, so that you can use all of your mana to just start to discard and trigger it, which is really nice. But in similar fashion, it can plot a lot of the other cards that we're running in this deck as well. Even some of the ones we've already talked about, like Artist Talent or Highway Robbery. We're not getting the full extent of the mana cost reduction if we plot a 2-drop, but it's still value that we can get that's really nice. And then it also has an ultimate ability. If we do get to 6 loyalty, we can -6, and whenever we cast a spell, we copy it, which can be insane with all the triggers that we're getting. So yeah, do that. We're also running 3 copies of Liliana. This is a free way to discard a card every turn for us without having to spend mana, while also making our opponent discard a card so that they stay at parity. But it's also a way to get rid of a pesky creature if we need to on turn 3, drop it, make them sack a creature. And it's another thing that we can plot with Jace Reawakened as well, which is really nice. We're also running 4 copies of Brotherhood's End. This card is nuts. Not only does it absolutely decimate all of the aggro decks early on so that you can survive to the late game to get all of your win conditions online, but there are so many crazy artifact decks running around everywhere right now that this also has the second mode of destroying all artifacts with mana value 3 or less, which can absolutely wreck your opponent, whether it's their synthesizer deck or another competing cycling deck with Monument to Endurance. You can just absolutely wreck them with that alternate mode if it's used just right. So Brotherhood's End is going to be one of the best cards in the new standard for sure. We're also running 4 copies of Ill-Timed Explosion, because even if we don't need to sweep, this can just draw us a couple cards, but it can also draw to, discard to, trigger our discard synergies, and sweep the board for the highest mana of whatever we discard. Just a ton of value for a control-based discard deck like this, and I absolutely love it. We're also going to run 4 copies of Harvester of Misery. This is our early removal of choice. We can play this on 2 just by discarding it, giving something -2/-2, stopping aggro in their tracks, but also it counts as a discard. So if we do it later on while we have some of our payoffs set up, we get to trigger those synergies, which is really nice. And then the last card I want to talk about is just 2 copies of 3 Steps Ahead, which is 1 blue mana instant with Spree. So there's a mode you can counter a spell, there's a mode you can draw to and discard a card, which is absolutely what this deck wants to do, but most importantly, there's a mode where we can make a token that's a copy of an artifact or creature. So we can make a second Cryptcaller Chariot, or we can make a second Monument to Endurance, and then start to exponentially increase all of our triggers, and it can get absolutely wild. So we are only running 2 copies because it is a little bit win more, but sometimes that counter spell can also come in clutch. The mana base, pretty wild. Check out the full description to see it, but with all of that out of the way, let's just check out the games. This looks okay. This looks pretty good, actually. We can Thundering Falls on 1, dig closer to a land, and then turn 2 we can Highway Robbery. We are taking a little bit of risk dumping the Harvester. Plot it. Hopefully just draw land the old-fashioned way. We shall see. Hey, land. Would you look at that? Do we want to really? I guess we'll start by discarding a card. And that card will be one of the ill-timed explosions. And I guess we'll just play Lily and start upticking her.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when don't overthink things.
Hard to say what we dump. I think it's better to dump the Skycrash than the Jace. We're almost definitely playing the Cryptcaller Chariot next turn. We got Opt. What else? What are you dumping, Legend? An ill-timed explosion. Okay. We might end up dumping ours, to be honest. Broadside Barrage.
I know when I'm not wanted.
See if he has any artifact removal. Let's get out the Chariot. Here we go. If we draw something we can plot, we'll play the Jace. Otherwise, I think we play the ill-timed explosion. Actually, maybe we play the Jace anyway. Because we probably want to just draw with the ill-timed explosion and not discard. But I would like to get a zombie on the field. Oh, Jesus. Another Cryptcaller. Well, we'll do what we can right now.
The pieces are scattered, but each one has its place.
Into the Floodmaw. Okay. Okay. That's fine. It is what it is. We'll play it next turn. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to just draw cards with ill-timed explosion to gas up on things that we can discard to other stuff. Does he have a counterspell he's going to hold up? If we draw a good 2 or 3 drop that we can plot with Jace, we're just going to go that direction. Set up for a good next turn. 4 cards, Legend. 4 cards. 3 steps ahead, drawing, discarding. I assume he's gonna make a treasure so he can cast another thing. No, he draws a card. Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand. Scooble. McDouble. We will discard the land 100%. Everything else is worth a lot of value to us later on. We'll swing for 1. Playing the opt. Six mana. Has a monument. Oh boy. I'm worried he might have a Brotherhood's End. But I don't know. We haven't seen anything yet. We could kill his monument with Skycrash. Theoretically. Let's just do this. Discard 2 cards. Collector's Vault and Skycrash. Uptick. Damn, man. Not getting lucky. Not getting lucky. Pass the turn. So, it's gonna take us one more turn. Damn it! If we were just holding up the Skycrash, we could have killed it in response. Oh, that's such a bummer. He's doing kind of the same thing as us, though. Yeah, I was greedy. I intended to destroy the monument. I just thought for sure with all of that drawing, we'd draw into another land. So I wanted to do all of it. To be completely honest, we should have drawn into a land. We had 3 draws. And we're actually slightly below rate for how many lands we've seen this game. So our chances were a little bit increased. What did we discard? That was 7. Oh, the Roaring Furnace, Steaming Sauna. Interesting. He's definitely doing the same thing as us, just without black. Alright, we need to just do the thing. Is he using Artist Talent in his? Doesn't look like it. But he does have Roaring Furnace. And Broadside Barrage. Which is pretty rad. Let's plot an Artist Talent. And then let's play one. Set up for next turn. Set up for next turn. 𝐭𝐿𝐼𝐋𝐄𝐑. Monument. Damn. Just going wild with all the monuments. We need Brotherhood's End. I mean, we lose our Chariot, but we've got a backup one in our hand if we just keep it. We need to dig for Brotherhood's End. We've got 2 of them in this deck. If we can get it, I think we can win. Oh, God. 2, 3. Well, let's get as much value as we can out of the Chariot before it goes bye-bye. Into the Floodmaw. Thank you? Ah, we gotcha. Even though technically you're not allowed to do that. This hand is a bit slow though, and it doesn't have any of our black mana. So we're gonna have to mulligan it. This looks a lot better. We'll keep this, toss back one of the lands. What do we need less of, black or blue? Well, considering we need 2 blue for counterspell for 3 steps ahead, I guess we'll toss back the Raucous Theater. Start with Thundering Falls. Dump the Undercity. We're going to be able to draw a lot with the Artist Talent. So I'm not super worried right now. I think we're just... We either hold up Counterspell or we level up the Artist Talent. I think we just level up the Artist Talent. Cycles the Shape Thief. Alright, good call on my end. We do miss out on countering whatever he plays here, but we can Skycrash it. So, I'm not worried. Let's destroy the monument. Discard a land. Play a land. Hold up counterspell potential. Now, if we counterspell, we can't activate another mode, because it doesn't take up 1 mana off of each mode. So we would need 1 more mana. Which means we probably are... Oh, we need 2 blue. We shouldn't have used that Thundering Falls. Oopsie. I guess we'll try to dig and find something. Sack of land. Play this. Discard the Brotherhood's End since we just got rid of his monument. Pass the turn. So again, we don't get the counterspell, but we actually got a lot of gas there. Kick off celebrations. We should be okay. We should be okay. Now, how greedy do we want to get? Because we can Highway Robbery and 3 steps ahead. Or we could just pump out the Cryptcaller Chariot. You know what? I'm going to get Lily. Discard Lily. We're going to try to find the land. And we're going to make a treasure. And we're going to play the Highway Robbery. Dump. Trigger, trigger. And we'll draw a card. Discard a card. Discard ill-timed explosion. Trigger, trigger. Make you lose 3. Play the Undercity Sewers. We don't need another talent. We'll dump it. I think we're pretty set up. Once again, we tapped out on our turn when we really want to hold up a counterspell. It looks like that's probably going to come back to bite us. Yeah, we're taking 15. No, we're taking 20 because... Oh, nope, he's not at max speed. We're only taking 15. And then I think... we might be okay after that. We have to hold up counterspell, which means at most we have 3 mana. I would like to kill the 𝐁𝐫𝐞𝐳. By doing damage with Brotherhood's End, so that we don't take out our other stuff. But it looks like that's not going to be possible. So... Oh wait, that's mana value 3 or less. Shit. Damage... If we level up to level 3, we can do 4 damage, right? Does he have another 𝐁𝐫𝐶 though? Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Full control. We're gonna do 3 damage. I guess we discard the monument. That feels really bad though. We make a treasure token. We do 5 to all the creatures. Damn it, we don't have enough mana to counterspell. So if he's got another 𝐁𝐫𝐶, we're just dead. No, wait, they're exiled. Oh, he's got a haste guy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Insane. We need to draw a card. So we need things to fuel our discards. We need to find a way to stop the Swashbuckler. As of right now, we do not. Make a treasure. Discard? That's not an artifact. This is terrifying. So we can Harvester of Misery to only take one. But we can't kill it. I mean, we could also make a copy of the zombie with the 3 steps ahead. It will be untapped, and then we can use it to crew a chariot and block the Swashbuckler. This is really close. This is really, really close. No matter what we do, we're only going to be able to do one thing. So I say we go for the best possible play. That's not true. Because we discard. Do the chariot. Past the blockers. I think we got him. I think we got him. Cycles makes a tapped zombie, which is not enough. We cycle. Haha, let's go. Swinging for lethal. We're going to try and keep this. We're going to Sewers on 1. Drop the Verge. Drop the talent. I think we got to keep the land. We really need to find a sweeper, though. I'm a little terrified. We also want to hold on to this Skycrash. Or maybe we just want to play it. I mean, I kind of want to play the artist talent, but we should probably get rid of his ramp. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Hi, Bo. Come on, come lay down. You're a good pup. Yep, you're a good pup. Alright, so artist talent. We'll go Thundering Falls. Keep the Chariot, because I'm greedy. And we're gonna try really hard. Well, we are getting everything we need. We shall see if that continues.
It warms my heart to see a lion.
Cliffs. Decline. Decline. Discard. Discard. Alright, baby. Now we're off to the races.
𝐿𝐼𝐿 still have secrets to uncover.
We're just gonna make zombies forever. Radiant Lotus. Oh god. Nine black mana. Valgavoth. Oh boy. Oh boy. You're gonna be very, very upset though. Very, very upset. I mean, let's not give him anything else. But we will take care of the Valgavoth.
One of your friends has to leave.
We could copy the Cryptcaller's Chariot, but we could hold up the mana and do that on our opponent's turn too. Let's kill Karn. And we'll end the turn. Now we can use the Collector's Vault if we don't need to 3 steps ahead. Actually, we could Collector's Vault and still 3 steps ahead. Yeah, there's a lot we can do. Now he can still sack the Radiant Lotus. Get 7 mana if he wants. Now 8 if he sacks the Foundry. Discard, I guess, the land, right? Make a Chariot. And that's it. We could do that. Let's do this. Play the Monument. Discard Lily. Discard Artist Talent. Let's see, we Collector's Vault. No, we need the mana. Well, here. Discard the land. Draw a card. Plot cost is not smaller. So, we'll go Highway Robbery. Discard a card. Trigger. Make a treasure. Discard Fuel the Flames. Trigger. Make them lose 3. Discard a card. Make a 2/2. 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐸. Discard Highway Robbery. Oh, cut it out. Come lay down. We are not going to be dumb enough to attempt to swing with the Cryptcaller Chariot this time because he has mana open and he could use creature removal to kill it. But we are going to swing for 8 with our tokens. The Chariot's wild if you can just survive long enough to gas up with it. Which is why we built a control deck around it. And that's why Liliana's so good too. She fulfills the conditions we need early in the game for dealing with their board state, taking a creature off the table, whatever. And then she's a free way for us to discard later on, and also makes them discard in the process. He's gonna be so mad. Three steps ahead, buddy! Not the greatest hand. We're gonna try to keep it, only because we have the Surveil land to dig for red. And then we have removal on 2. But we have to find red so we can play the talent. And then dig for our second red to get Brotherhood's End online. Unless we're not up against aggro, in which case this might not matter. Alright, Sewers, red mana. Beautiful. Mako. Think we wait on the Harvester. I don't think he's going to be able to put 2 counters on it. And I was correct. Play that. Pass the turn. I want to hold up all my options. Because if he plays another creature and we can kill both with the Brotherhood's End, then I'll probably just wait. Yeah. Discarded the Monument. Discard a card, so they go up to 3s. Which is fine. He'll hit me for 3. And I will wipe his board. use the Brotherhood's End while we can. Although it is worth noting, might be relevant to save that for artifact destruction if he gets another Monument to Endurance online. But I think it's better to kill the 3/3s while they're still 3/3s and save the ill-timed explosion. There's the Monument. I guess we just want to get the Cryptcaller Chariot out. And we'll discard one of these lands. We need more red. So we'll discard the Gloomlake. And we'll play the Riverpyre Verge. Take a turn off to set up, basically. But I mean, then we're good. He's got his Monument online. But we'll have our Chariot online. Alright, trigger the Monument. Does he make a treasure? No. Nanu. Artist Talent again. This time maybe he makes a treasure. Alright, Swings of the Fear. I don't know if that was really worth it. I mean, I guess? We need to do 3 damage, so we have to discard the other ill-timed explosion.
Let's rock!
And I think we want to Skycrash the Monument. Let's dump the Jace. Make some more. Do this. Hey, thank you for the follow, Shadow Rogue. I appreciate it. Let's discard. Make some more zombies. Looks good to me. Monument down. Monument number 2 down. Mono red. He's got Fear of Infinity. Is that just to discard and get back and discard and get back? That's actually kind of smart. I mean, you have to play enough enchantments, but still. That's really smart. I like that. Fears come back. Alright, well. We'll do the thing. Discard the thing. Make some things. Draw some things. We ran out of things. We ran out of things. Guess we'll just swing for 9. We're gonna hold on to the sewers so that we have something else to discard. One mana short of the talent too. If I had known, which I mean there's no way of knowing, but if I had known, I could have leveled up to level 2 at least on the artist talent, reduced the cost of the chariot, then played the chariot and used all my mana. But I mean, we've got lethal next turn. Unless he figures out some way to wipe our board.
Oh, boys!
Hey, Warlock. Welcome, friend. Welcome to the stream. This deck's pretty wild. Fear of missing out. Fear of Infinity comes back. It's a lot of value. I don't know if it's enough, but it's a lot of value. He can even theoretically play the Fear of Missing Outs if he wants to get the life gain by just eventually making 2 treasures with Monument and then using him for the mana. It's kind of cool. Really? Another land? Ugh. Ugh. Well, let's make sure that we don't have another one. I don't think he can do anything with 2 red mana that can kill a chariot. So we are going to attempt to swing lethal right now. He can block a 2/2 and we should hit for 12. Unless he can kill something. Oh, he's got to torch the tower. He actually wins. He actually wins. Because he gets to make us lose 3 life on his next turn by discarding and swing for 4 with Fear of Missing Out that has Delirium turned on. So he actually wins. It was all those lands in a row, man. If we would have had another thing to play, we would have been in a pretty good spot. Pretty good spot. But nope. No dice. Ouch. Alright. This is way too slow to keep. 2 tapped lands. 2 4-drops. 2 3-drops. 1 cycling card. Although I guess we could cycle into some stuff that we need. Let's keep it. Only because we can cycle almost immediately. And if he's playing that quickly, might be a mistake. Let's see what he drops here. Another elf. And an 𝐿𝐼𝑠. Well, I guess... Man, it would have been really, really nice to sweep the board. Next turn. But he's already going to have out something huge. Right? So I think increasing the chances that he doesn't get out something huge is probably just better. Oh, we don't have the mana. It feels so bad. And there it is. That's what we needed. Dump it. Pass turn. That tapped land is going to be our undoing. 7 mana dinosaur. We have no way to kill it. Ooh, maybe not. Just has all the mana dorks? just has all the mana dorks. Well, now I feel really bad. We'll keep another one. Oh, he should have tapped him for mana to make a Mirex token. Garruk's Uprising.
Happy to help. You
We'll
won't
dump the
be
Brotherhood's
upset.
End now, since we don't need the second one anymore.
Drop it.
He did protect his Trailblazer, which was nice. Plays it, gets a little mana, draws a card. Not bad. We will take out the extra card advantage he's generating, though. Skycrash. Four, 5, 6. I guess we go like this. And then like this. And then like this.
Don't think things.
I think we hold back as blockers to protect Lily for now. You silly. You silly. You silly. Guess we just smash face, huh? And hold up the counterspell. There's no reason to be greedy. $16.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
Llanowar elf. Aww. Junior.
Now you've got my attention.
Insult to injury. Just kill the token. 'Cause why not? He had the worst luck ever, though. Poor Junior. I love that dude so much. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck techs, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.